His brother was holding on to him, trying to make it stop bleeding, and he died in his brother's arms.
Austin Metcalf's final moments, his dad says, were spent in his twin brother's arms.
And I rushed up there, and I saw him on the gurney, and I could tell.
The 17-year-old died Wednesday, police say, after being stabbed by another student at a high school track meet in Frisco, Texas.
Not conscious, not breathing, he was stabbed.
His twin brother, who was there, told their dad the incident began when the pair asked the student to move to a different seat.
He brought a knife to a track meet, and he murdered my son by stabbing him in the heart.
Police are not saying what caused the altercation, but have arrested 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, a student athlete from a rival school, now charged with murder. Anthony has not yet pled. The North Texas community in shock.
It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking.
Grieving alongside Austin's family, who are remembering the high school junior as a bright student athlete who was MVP of his football team and had a 4.0 GPA.
He was loved by many. He was a leader. He believed in God. He was a great kid. Made me the proudest father in the world.
Tonight, his family leaning on that faith to forgive.
I already forgive this person. God takes care of things. God's going to take care of me. God's going to take care of my family.
Priscilla Thompson, NBC News.
There was this kid, before I knew his name now, this kid was sitting under our tent at track. We asked him to move. He started getting aggressive and talking reckless. And my brother stepped in and said, "You need to move." He's like, "Make me move." Also grabbed his backpack. The kid, I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I looked at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. So that's just what I saw. And I tried to help him, but
it was just senseless.
It was really senseless. Really, I don't know why a person would do that to someone just over that little argument. It's just crazy in this world nowadays how people just up and do that. Like that man had a family. That man has people that care about them all the time, and he did everything for our family too. He was strong.
Before I even dive deeper into this video, let me just say I offer my condolences to his loved ones, his family, his friends, etc., etc. Like, I genuinely share my condolences because at the end of the day, this was somebody's child, this was somebody's brother, this was somebody's friend. Even if there was some sort of altercation that led up to this point, it could have been handled way differently. We all can agree with that. It should have been handled differently. I don't care if and I'm not saying this was the case because I obviously don't know. I wasn't there. The kid could have been racist and throwing remarks towards this kid, and he could have, stabbed him as a result. Even if that was the case, and keep in mind, I just came up with a random scenario. Even if that was the case, I would not even say that this child deserved to get stabbed. His life was cut short over something trivial, something stupid. I don't know. Like I said, this is very unfortunate. And one of the reasons as to why I wanted to talk about this is because it started multiple conversations on Twitter. And there are a lot that I want to highlight today. And I want you guys to just keep in mind that I'm not taking sides here. I'm not saying that the kid that stabbed the other kid is innocent. I'm not saying that there was a reason for that. I'm not saying any of that because I wasn't there. Okay, there are so many different things that could have happened. And there are a lot of things that are being said right now that I don't know if it's true or not. But I will say, as soon as I heard this story break, I kept saying, I really want to know what led up to this story. I want to know if this actually happened the way that they're saying that it happened. I wonder if it really was an act of just senseless violence. Which is very possible. There are people that are crazy out here. There are so many different people that are crazy out here and that are willing to unalive somebody at the drop of a hat. That's very possible. I'm not saying that it's not. I just don't know because I wasn't there. And we have learned time and time and time again to never trust what you see at first on the internet and to question everything. So that's what I'm doing. Throughout this video, I'm going to be questioning things. And I'm letting you guys know right now, I don't know what happened. Like I said before I dug any deeper within this video, I just wanted to get that out of the way first. All right. So I wanted to talk about this situation because it stirred up a lot of conversations on Twitter. And basically, matter of fact, let me not even say Twitter. Let me just say Nazi Twitter. It stirred up a lot of conversations on Nazi Twitter. And basically, I have been seeing similar responses across the board on Nazi Twitter. This doesn't surprise me. Black people are violent. It's always the blacks. I never feel safe when I'm around black people. They are always the race that are causing issues, etc., etc., etc. These things are constantly being said. And one argument that I just find hilarious, the one thing that I find hilarious about the people on this app in this particular situation, they keep saying, oh, if this was the other way around, it would be covered everywhere. But a lot of people aren't even talking about this. News outlets are not talking about this. Yes, they are. It's literally everywhere. The only I didn't find out about this story because of Twitter. I found out about this story because of the news. The story is literally everywhere. And people are even going as far as to compare this situation with George Floyd, which is something entirely different. But we're going to get to that. We're going to look at these responses one by one. And some of these responses come from people that you may know. I'm sure a lot of you have already guessed it. First things first, let's talk about the twin Uncle Toms and Myron with the man unit. The Uncle Toms say black people can snap into a violent fit at any moment for any reason. White people walk around in constant fear of black people, which is just obviously racist. This goes into the same racist stereotypes that we have heard time and time again. Black people are evil. Black people are violent. It's just not fucking true. And here's Myron with the man unit. When I'm around blacks, I never relax. Well, I'm not going to lie, Myron's tweet didn't even necessarily, neither did theirs really. These tweets didn't necessarily bother me because like, I know these two are Uncle Toms and I know Myron just wants to be white so goddamn bad that it's killing him. And he's doing whatever he can to get on the side of his white mommies and white daddy. So this was not a shock at all, but let's continue. I'm not going to hold you. I had to respond to Matt Walsh because this actually had me so annoyed. Matt Walsh is one of those people, and he has been blatantly wrong so much just on a number of things, a number of topics, from politics, specifically like immigration, the vaccine, etc., etc., etc. Matt Walsh never knows what the he's talking about, and I felt so inclined to make this response. Like, I don't even care if people see my response. I don't know why he just rubs me the wrong way. I just can't stand people that are like Matt Walsh. Like, he's so smug and everything. Every time he talks, every time that he speaks his opinion, he acts like it's fact, and he wants to present his opinions to everybody as fact when they're actually bullshit. 95% of the time, the facts that Matt Walsh likes to bring to the table are bullshit, and it comes from personal opinion or just made up statistics, or he's misrepresenting the statistics that he finds. He does the same that Just Pearly Things does. So he says, if I told you that a young man stabbed another young man to death for telling him that he was in the wrong seat, and then I told you that one young man in this altercation was white and the other was black, and then I asked you to guess the race of the assailant, every single person would know the answer immediately. That's not fucking true. Why would we? I would know the answer. I would not know the answer. You know why I would know the answer? Because people are crazy. Black, white, blue, orange, yellow. People are crazy. It doesn't matter that one of them was white and one of them was black. When I first heard about this story, I wasn't even thinking about race at all, but you guys brought it here. You guys brought it here to the forefront. I genuinely would not be able to guess. Because I'm sorry, white people are not responsible for school shootings. White people aren't violent. White people are just the peaceful ones. Like, they're the peaceful race all of a sudden. No. Just like everybody else, they're people. They can be responsible for heinous crimes. We don't know. Anyway, sorry, let's keep going. Young black males are violent to a wildly, outrageously disproportionate degree. That's just a fact. It's not a fact. We all know it, and it's time that we speak honestly about it, or nothing will change. it's just, I find it so funny because they're acting like stuff like this happens time and time and time again. This situation is pretty freaking unique. How often do you guys hear about a high schooler stabbing another high schooler to death? How often do you hear that happening? This is at a track meet, nonetheless. This is a very unique situation. But he's acting like we constantly hear about black kids and black children and black males committing these heinous crimes and yada yada yada. I have said this time and time and time again, and I said this in my tweet as well. Violence is overwhelmingly intraracial, meaning white people mostly harm white people and black people mostly harm black people. It's just common sense. The people that are going to harm other people, they're going to harm people within their proximity. Anyway, let me read you my response, because at this point I was just fed up. I said, imagine being so deeply insecure and ignorant that you reduce entire communities to stereotypes just to feel superior. You cherry pick a single incident and ignore centuries of systemic violence, economic disenfranchisement, and over policing, all while pretending to be honest. It just blows my mind. You want to talk about how black males are just always violent and they're quick to go to violence. Bro, I hate to take it there. Black people were enslaved for a very long time. White people are not saints. No race, no person is perfect or a saint. Let's just get that out of the way, all right? I said if you cared about facts, you'd mention that white men commit the majority of mass shootings in the U.S. That's a fact. You'd mention that black people are more likely to be victims of violence than perpetrators, and that media bias and over-policing fuel the distorted stats that you are portraying. Then I said you'd also mention that violence is overwhelming intraracial, meaning white people mostly harm white people, just like black people mostly harm black people. Like I said before, you're here to spew racist BS dressed up as the truth and hope no one calls it what it is, and that's hate. Matt Walsh is one of those people that I just cannot stand. Like, he's one of the few that can actually get under my skin. And then I saw this post, and I'm not gonna lie, this low-key made me laugh a little bit, because this person tweeted, say his name, Austin Metcalf, high-achieving student athlete 4.0 killed in cold blood by Carmelo Anthony. Zero national outrage. First off, it made me chuckle a little bit because, you know, when an African American has been unjustly unalived by a police officer or whatever, that's usually what we say. That's usually what the black community says. Say his name. We want you to say their names so it is etched in your mind that these types of situations keep happening to us. So when he tweeted, say his name, Austin Metcalf, that made me chuckle a little bit, not because of the situation. The situation is obviously serious. That made me chuckle a little bit because it's quite apparent that they are comparing this particular incident to the multiple incidents that have happened to African Americans that resulted in police brutality. Wait a minute. And the fact that he said zero national outrage, that really made me laugh. Like no one is talking about it. This is you. You have outrage right now. This has been trending on Twitter for a while now. People are still talking about it. There is national outrage. But you expect it to be on the same level as like George Floyd, but it's different. It's totally different. But you know what? Now that I brought up George Floyd, let me show you this tweet. So we have two pictures here, one of George Floyd, one of Austin Metcalf. Beside George Floyd, it says felon drug addict, ODs on fentanyl. He didn't overdose on fentanyl. He had a knee to his neck. It was literally in the autopsy. Wall-to-wall media coverage for months on end. America cities burned to the ground. White student killed over a parking spot. Zero media. Not a single fire started or protest planned. How you're even comparing the two is fucking asinine. When it comes to George Floyd, this isn't just about George Floyd. With Austin Metcalf and the kid that stabbed him, this is an isolated incident. This is nothing like, it's not even similar to the situation with George Floyd. The only way that it's similar is that there is a white person and a black person involved. That's the only way that it's even remotely similar. But the situation is not the same. There was national outrage about George Floyd because black people are disproportionately killed by police officers. Compared to any other race, black people are usually the targets of police brutality. That's why there was an outrage, because this has happened time and time and time again. And yeah, people were pissed because it's fucked up. And there are actual statistics to support what I'm saying currently. And honestly, whether George Floyd was a felon and he was on drugs or not is fucking irrelevant. He didn't have a weapon. He wasn't threatening anybody, and he wasn't trying to hurt anybody. So there was no reason why an officer's knee had to be placed upon his neck. Literally no reason at all. And if you want to have Ben Shapiro's dumbass talking point of saying the police department actually trained them to do that. Okay, well, if they trained him to do that, he obviously did it wrong because George Floyd died and no, it was an overdose. Anyway, I'm getting off of George Floyd. I just wanted to explain how the two situations were, they are not equal. They do not equate to shit. They are separate. I don't even know how you even try to make a comparison. In this next tweet, this guy says, social media posts in the past days/weeks from Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony. Okay, as you can see here, Austin is receiving some award. He tweeted, he said, blessed to say I won linebacker of the year and team MVP. Love this team and family. He says, faith that God got me. Heart emoji, and my work will pay off. Okay, that's the few things that Austin tweeted. Also, he said days and weeks. He posted this in fucking December. I'm sorry, I'm nitpicking, but I'm just saying. And then he posted this picture of Carmelo, the guy that stabbed him, and it's a picture of him throwing up the middle finger and him holding a gun. And a lot of these people have been posting these pictures. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie. I always found it weird when people would pose with guns. Like, why are you doing that? Like, are you trying to look cool? You trying to look tough? To be fair, I never liked it. I think it's fucking dumb. Guns are dangerous. You're not supposed to be posing with them because you could potentially hurt yourself or somebody else. But I found it interesting because multiple people kept tweeting out these two pictures. And we're essentially talking about, look, he has a gun. He's such a monster. All black people are such monsters. And they kept cropping the picture out. Let me show you the full picture. This is actually the full picture. This is the full picture. People keep cropping it out. And when this full picture was tweeted, no one wanted to say anything about these two white teens that were in the picture with him. They're in the picture throwing up the middle finger and they're around the guns. Like, it's pretty safe to say that they are friends, but no one had anything to say about these two being in the picture. Instead, they just wanted to crop Carmelo out, which I also found to be fucking annoying because this was another way to try and further vilify black people, saying, oh, all of them throw up the middle finger, all of them are violent, all of them have guns. That's what they say. Now, let's get into the next tweet. As you can see here, this is Austin and his friends also posing with guns. My opinion stands. I think it's stupid, no matter what race you are. Let me just show you how crazy and racist these people are. Look at this. Pictured, a white Christian teen posting with a legal non-automatic rifle in a hunting context. How the f do you know those rifles are legal? You're just assuming that they're legal because he's white? Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, these look like assault rifles to me. I could be wrong, but these look like assault rifles. What are you hunting with these rifles? Anyway, he continues to say a killer who posted with an AK style weapon, gang signs, and captions about being in the field, then stabbed a stranger in the heart over a bleacher seat. This isn't both sides. This is lawful tradition versus ritualized chaos. Don't twist it. You don't know that. You don't know that. You're just looking at pictures. And also, no one's throwing up gang signs. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, guys, in this next tweet, apparently some additional information has come to light. I don't know if any of this is true, so please take it with a grain of salt. I'm not saying that this is true. I'm just basically showing you what somebody tweeted, okay? That's exactly why I said take it with a grain of salt. I don't know what's true because I wasn't there. But from what I've seen, no one is talking about this, and I do find that interesting. Now, this source is a Facebook post. That's why I said I don't know if it's real. And this is not me taking sides. I'm just presenting to you guys what I found, just to repeat myself. This says, the truth about Carmelo. Let's set the record straight. Enough with the misinformation. Let's talk about facts. Number one, it's normal for students from different schools to gather under another school's tent. Carmelo had friends there. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. I will say that is true. Like, I used to go under, rival schools' tents all the time because I always made friends with other people from other schools. Like, that's totally normal. So that much I will agree with. All of this other stuff, I'm not sure because I wasn't there. 2, the claim that one of the twins had never seen Carmelo before, a blatant lie. 3, no student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. The school owns that tent, not the twins. I mean, fair. 4, Carmelo is a track athlete. The twins are not. He wasn't even expecting to see them there. Now, here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't just ask him to leave. They tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings, broke his phone, and stomped on it. The twins are known bullies. I don't know if that's true or not. I really don't know. But for the sake of argument, let's say this is true. First of all, before I even say that, whether this is true or not, he shouldn't have stabbed anybody. Let's just get that out of the way. But for the sake of argument, even if this was true, this goes back to the previous point that I made about not taking sides in a situation until you have all the facts presented in front of you. This is one of the reasons as to why I don't take sides, because again, I wasn't there. We have multiple stories here. I'm not going to assume one story is factual over the other just because of somebody's skin complexion. I'm not going to assume that this story is true just because the kid that stabbed the other kid is black. Like, I'm not going to say that because, again, I wasn't there. But people don't really think like this. People are so quick to take sides without having all of the facts. And I don't even know if these are facts, which is why I'm staying neutral. I'm just saying that this situation, it never should have happened, and it is tragic. Anyway, so ask yourself, if 2 200-pound attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? And yet, despite everything, the media is trying to destroy Carmelo's name. They keep posting pictures of him with an airsoft gun. Oh, not even a real firearm to manipulate public perception. Why? Because they want to paint him as a criminal instead of a victim. Oh, damn. Hey, can anybody in the comments confirm if that's an airsoft gun? Because I don't know myself. I really don't know. That would make sense, though, because where the hell did you get an AK? Like, what hood booger shit are you up to the point where you have an AK? I'm willing to buy that. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think it's an airsoft gun? They continue to say, let's talk about who Carmelo really is. A respectful, well-mannered young man, a 4.0 student with multiple college offers. Damn. A kid with zero criminal history, not even a blemish. A son raised in a loving home by parents who taught him right from wrong. This next person says those kids were bullies. They attacked one person outnumbering him. What was he supposed to do? Oh, but I forgot. It's only self-defense when it's convenient for you. It's called #stand your ground. There's video. You'll see it in court. Just wait. Stop letting race-baiting headlines cloud the truth. This isn't about color. It's about right and wrong. Those kids were bullies. They attacked one person outnumbering him. What was he supposed to do? Oh, but I forgot. It's only self-defense when it's convenient for you. It's called stand your ground. Yes, I'm going to span this reply because it's fitting. And guys, that's pretty much it. I wanted to go over everything that I saw on Twitter because all of the racist shit that I have been seeing thus far is just it's blowing my mind. And I don't know, it just seems like this country is really going backwards. Really going backwards. It's crazy and it's sad that people are taking this one isolated incident to blame an entire race. it's so annoying to me. The black people are violent trope is just so crazy because I have a bunch of black friends. None of them are violent unless they have to be. Every fight that I have been in my life, I was never the aggressor. It was to defend myself. Always to defend myself. I never started and I never wanted to start because you guys know how I feel about violence. People are crazy out here. You don't know who has a gun. You don't know who has a knife. You don't know who has a weapon. So instead, it's better for you to just walk away and avoid the situation, period. It's wild to me that people are saying, oh, yup, violent blacks. It fits instead of saying, wow, this kid is very disturbed. Why would you bring a knife to a track meet? Why would you instantly stab somebody? Why would you stab somebody, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? I would accept that. I would accept that instead of these constant racist ass conversations that we are having about the black community. And also, one last thing I want to say, because a lot of people are saying, why would you bring a knife to a track meet? And that shows intent. He was intending to do something that day. That's not true. Just because you are carrying a weapon, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have intent to harm somebody. People open carry all the time. Does that mean they're about to shoot the first person that they see? Does that mean they plan to shoot somebody? No, just in case something pops off, you have something to protect yourself. So I'm not going to say just because this kid had a knife in his backpack, that doesn't mean that he intended to do something this heinous that day. Bro, get the fuck out of here. Guys, let me know what you think about everything that I said. I know this video was a lot, but let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Please let me know in the comments down below. Let's have an open dialogue. Let's have a civilized conversation in the comments. If you come with that racist, rah-rah, stereotypical bullshit, I will just delete your comments or just block you from the channel. Okay, I'm just being honest here. I'm down with having open and honest conversations, but I'm not here for the racist bullshit. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.